I'm still in the groove. All right, everybody. Hey, welcome back. Assalamu alaikum. We are glad to see you this evening. Yes, you're back for another edition of Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and
Sister Tisha.
That's us. And we're happy to have you on the air with us. You know the drill right now. We're going to ask that everybody who's joining us, coming in the room, get a comfortable seat, pull up a chair, get a glass of your favorite beverage, and just let's go ahead and connect with each other. And let folks know in the comments section where you're viewing from, because we need to know where you are so we can dig where you're going. And we want to make sure that everybody's aware that you're always welcome from wherever you are. Starting us off tonight from Greensboro, North Carolina, our dear brother Harold Muhammad. We love you, Brother Harold.
Yeah.
And from Chicago, Illinois, Brother Naba Muhammad, editor-in-chief of the Final Call. Brother James Camouflage in Chicago is with us. And Shantae Gilliam Turner, that's my sister-in-law, everybody. She's with us down in Arkansas. And Brother Naba said, Chi-Town via B-More. He wanted everybody to know he got that B-More pedigree, that B-More heritage. And so we're very, very glad to see that our editor-in-chief is on the line with us tonight. Thank you, dear brother, for not only being with us tonight, but for your wonderful years of service to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam in that key and crucial role of spreading the truth like you do. And speaking of truth, this is about nothing but the what, hon?
Nothing but the truth.
Nothing.
Okay.
So tonight, we got a whole lot of things to talk about tonight. We're going to talk, there's Brother Daryl Alston from Massachusetts. Got it all covered from the east to the west, from Boston to Springfield. Thank you, Brother Daryl. That's Chef Daryl for everybody who doesn't know.
Oh.
Yeah, Chef Daryl Sauces. And there's a certain person on this broadcast tonight, Chef Daryl, who continues to eat up all of the Chef Daryls that we order. And so we'll be back in touch with you really soon. Sister Katrina's on the line with us from Fort Worth, Texas. Good to see you from what they call Fort Worth, Funky Town.
Funky Town.
Town in Texas there in Tarrant County. Sister Katrina's with us by way of St. Louis. Good to see you this evening, sister. So everybody come on in. Pull up your chair for a Real Talk podcast. And tonight we got some real talk. Some of the conversation that we're going to have tonight is going to be so valuable that you're going to want to buy a book about it. And we're going to make sure that you can buy the book because we've got the author here with us tonight. And we don't want to have you miss that at all. So come on in the room, like they used to say back in church, come on in the room. And we want to make sure everybody gets a chance to know where we're from. Brian Pippins, welcome, sir. Where are you calling or viewing from tonight, Brian? We want to make sure we shout out everybody's place. Oh, you're from Atlanta, Georgia, down there with the Jacques brothers. You pronounce it in French, Jacques brothers. Jacques brothers. Okay?
French.
Jacques brothers are on the line with us tonight. Okay? And so we want to welcome you all into place to be with us tonight on Nothing But the Truth. It's been a remarkable couple of weeks, hasn't it, hon?
It has.
Did I call you hon on the air? Was this
you did, and so there's that. Okay.
Yeah, learning professional broadcasting is difficult. We want to thank you for your patience with me. Brother Eric Muhammad is on the line with us from Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, there's Trisha from Dallas, Texas. Hey, sister-in-law. And we want to make sure you come on in the room. I was glad when they said unto me, come, let's join Nothing But the Truth in Progress. Sister Juanita's on the line with us. We have people piling into the room right now. Let's give everybody as much of a chance as we can to get in. We are going to give you to Sister Tisha in just a moment, and she'll give you some work that you need to do. Easy things. Easy things. And yes, Sean, I got her a mic, and with the help of everybody who's here.
Sean has my back.
Yeah, she had your back.
But for tonight, I'll probably just use the pen.
No, but
come on into my place. Is that the song you were singing?
No, I wasn't singing anything that you need to sing.
Come on and go with me.
You wasn't doing no singing. Y'all know how to hit that button to make sure that you don't have to hear that. We want to thank also Marcus Marco Muhammad is back in the line. Love you for loving the podcast, Marcus. Put in the chat, in the conversation, in the comments where you are viewing from tonight. We're going to talk also, Brother Naba, at the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk a little bit about the WPFW assignment that we have. And we're going to seek and ask the prayers of all the viewers of Nothing But the Truth for our success in that venue too. But we are so grateful, so happy, and so honored that you could be here tonight. A very special edition of Nothing But the Truth, because our guest tonight, yes, she's our friend. Yes, she's our sister. Yes, we rolled through Chicago doing crazy stuff together, but we love her because she brings the truth and she brings it in a way that is very, very clear to us. My nephew from Philadelphia, Brother Jihad Ahmed, is on. Salam alaikum, Unc and Auntie. Game is on tonight, so if it's okay, I'll be going back and forth for your show to the Sixers game. Lord have mercy. But you know, there's no fan like a Sixers fan.
Yeah. He speaks the truth.
It's a vibe. It's a whole vibe. So yes, I understand, Jihad. Back and forth. Let's make it happen. Our sister Carmen Camilla Abdullah Muhammad from Chicago is with us, and we're grateful to see you. Sister Juanita from the great city of Arlington, Texas. Great to see you. Sister Deidre Muhammad from Huntsville, Alabama. You get the idea. All over the world, there are people connecting, touching base, and getting connected to each other. And why not? In times like these, we need to be closer together. We'll do a few more acknowledgments in just a few moments, but I want to give you now to the First Lady of the House. I want to give you to the lady who makes things happen over here. As she told me this morning, don't you ever forget it. Yes, those are sippy cups. We'll talk about the sippy cups in just a moment. First thing we want to do is we want to give it over to our dear sister, Tisha Muhammad, who will take us further in the way of the broadcast. Tisha.
All right. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again to another episode of Nothing But the Truth, another edition of Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. We're so glad that you joined us again. We ask that you tell a friend, bring a friend next time, you know, a family member, friend, enemy, I don't care, bring them all. All right. We have something for everyone. This is a platform for us all. What we need you to do today, a little housekeeping rules, is help us grow this platform. Help us share this platform as far and as wide as we can. So we want you to go over to YouTube, find our page, Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. Hit that red subscribe button, hit some likes, hit some notifications, and that is a wonderful way to show your love and support to the channel and to our efforts, right? And then after that, just go right on over to Facebook and do the same on our Facebook page. Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. Hit like, share, and subscribe. All right, that's it. Take it away, Millington.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, everybody. I'm glad I have my brother Diallo Cork with me. He's reaching out for us from Greater Cincinnati tonight. He will be able to explain and understand along with me, Sean, what these cups are behind me. Now, we may get to it a little bit later in the program, but these cups are they're drink cups, custom made from the Cincinnati institution, Frisch's Big Boy. And everybody who's ever been to Cincinnati, and Brother Diallo, you can put it in the chat. If you grew up there or you visit there or you spend any time there, you got to stop in at Frisch's sometime, some way. So we happen to be in Frisch's, and we got the Big Boy head cups. And so there you go. Yeah. So, yes, of course, we're very mature over here. And we want to keep it going and keep everything moving. Sister Joyce K. from St. Louis, good to see you. And of course, as everyone prepares for the holy month of Ramadan, all of our listeners and viewers in the Muslim community, we're very glad that you will be with us for Ramadan, inshallah. Allah willing and the creek don't rise. We hope to participate in a great and most successful Ramadan this year. So there's a lot of good things that are happening. Brother Nasheed is in the house. Good to see you, Brother Nasheed Shabazz, with us from Charlotte, North Carolina, by way of New York City and Philadelphia. Certainly, Brother John from Wynne, Arkansas. Good to see you, my dear brother. Sister Carol Patterson, also from Wynne, Arkansas.
Oh, they coming in.
Yeah, having the strongest representation of any city I've ever seen. Wynne is proportionally outdoing everybody because they got 2 from Wynne, Arkansas. That is literally 1/4 of the whole population of the
wow.
Okay, so yeah, they're all in here from Wynne tonight. So we want to welcome you all from wherever you are. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for watching, and thank you for joining us. Now, This is the part where we get to the good part, right, Tisha?
Yeah,
This
let's
is
see.
the part where we get to introduce our guest. And we know you all are not the kind of viewers who wait until 10 minutes has gone by and all the housekeeping is over. You just wait till 10 after so you can see the guest. That's not you. You come for the whole show. I know. But today, if you can see the slide on your screen, we're going to introduce the author of this great volume of literature.
Wow, I'm excited.
That's right. Relationship Talk, a guide to meaningful conversation for couples in courtship, engagement, and marriage. She's with us tonight, Sister Katrina Muhammad. Let me tell you a little bit about my sister. She is, there she is, in beautiful in her blue as always. This is our sister.
Cute, cute.
Sister T said cute, cute.
Yes, yes, cute.
But this is our sister who represents in her person and in her life the way that we approach our Islam. She's a person who carries excellence so naturally it doesn't seem like she's picked up any weight whatsoever. She hasn't picked up anything off the ground that's heavy. She's carrying everything just as naturally as can be, and that's how it should be. Mm-hmm. This book, Relationship Talks, was first created as a helpful list for the author to use when she entered into courtship. However, it became clear through the amount of enthusiasm and interest the questions generated via social media and in everyday conversations that Miss Muhammad, Sister Katrina, should turn the list into a book to be shared with the world. Relationship Talks encourages couples to have conversations about finance, work, family, friends. And we're going to get to family and friends tonight just a little bit, huh? Absolutely. Food, travel, transportation, intimacy, and how they would respond to everyday challenges. Couples will learn things they didn't know about each other and improve their relationship by getting a better understanding of one another. Most importantly, Relationship Talks will help you discover just how compatible you are with your beloved by encouraging couples to ask the hard questions, to illuminate the truth and mutual agreement in each other. And I'm telling you, this is a book that, and we have to say, by means of transparency, revelation, and disclosure, that Sister Tisha and I used this book when we recorded.
Yes, we did.
And Sister Tisha, bless her soul.
Bless it.
Okay, we read the first couple chapters. We see how it goes. All right, we're cool. We see that, right? We done?
No.
And she said to me, oh, no, my brother. Or in her words, bruh.
Yeah.
She said, we got to finish the whole book. And so we did. And the benefit of these nearly 2,000 questions was to give us a real head start and a leg up on what we pray would be the most successful endeavor we've ever embarked upon, our marriage. So let us bring to the microphones at this time my sister, and Sister Tisha is going to take over with the questioning right now, but I needed to tell you who this is. This is our sister, and she's your sister too. Let's welcome her to the microphones, Sister Katrina Muhammad from Chicago, Illinois. There she is, Sister Katrina. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. How are you all?
Wow, doing great. Honored to have you. Woo.
Honored to have you too. I heart you. I heart you.
All right. Praise be to Allah. I'm going to turn it over to Sister Tisha to ask the questions that need to be asked and move the questioning along. But I do want to say thank you, sis, for allowing us to be a part of a project that has touched literally thousands of lives in a way to do good for them. This particular volume, and I'm telling you, if you have not purchased your copy yet, we'll make it available for you, show you how you can purchase it a little bit later. But brothers and sisters, we are blessed with some great authors and writers in our nation. I see Sister Deidre's with us tonight from the Hidden Princess Project. And so many of us with great talent and skill. This talent tonight touched us, and it can touch you. Tisha, what did you want to ask our guest tonight?
Oh, wow. Thank you again, Sister Katrina, for coming on tonight. We are so excited for you to join us on this platform.
Thank you. It's such an honor. Thank you so much. And Brother Student Minister Jamil did not mention that he wrote the foreword to the book, which gave just the setting of setting it up for people to understand what the book was about, the importance of the book. And I'm so honored that he took the opportunity to write the foreword. It elevated the project even higher than what I could have ever imagined. So thank you so much, Brother Student Minister Jamil.
So that leads me into the first question. That's good. I set up that way. I want to know what relationship talks. What was the motivation for this book? What type of book is this? Is this a story? Is this a workbook? Is this what is this? What could we use this book for? What was the purpose for it? What made you want to write this?
Oh, it looks like the tower kind of pulled our sister offline.
Oh yes, we're having some connection issues.
All right, we're having connection issues from time to time. Every time we get ready to talk about something that's going to benefit y'all.
In your relationship. Maybe I should have just asked one question at a time.
Maybe you should ask the question about something that we do that's ignorant, then they would have let her stay on the line. But she's back.
She's back.
Please forgive me. I live in a high-rise building, and I've noticed that my internet when I'm in my apartment is not good. So I get a better connection when I come to the business center. So here I am in the business center, and it's still kind of acting sketchy. So I don't know if that's just the enemy trying to interfere. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to keep it moving.
Yes.
I did hear your question, sister. Okay. And essentially the goal was what occurred between you and your husband, which was to find a connection, to find compatibility, and move along in the courtship process to a successful marriage. And that's what the two of you had done. So the both of you are examples of what Relationship Talks was trying to achieve. And I'm so proud of you both. And I'm so proud of you, sister, for making sure that every question in the book was discussed and answered before you said, I do. So kudos to you, Sister Tisha.
Praise to Allah. Praise to Allah. This book is great. I mean, she's right. We used this book all through the courtship. We wasn't playing with this one because this time around with the marriages, it was important that we built these marriages on strong foundations, right? No mystery about nothing, no second guess, no assuming. We wanted to be truthful from the beginning. We needed our foundation to be strong. And this book helped us to do that along with a lot of prayer. But this book allowed us to ask the questions that maybe you didn't think to ask, or maybe they were a little uncomfortable to ask, or, oh, no, that's not polite to ask that, you know. And then later on in the marriage or courtship, whatever, you'd be like, I should have asked. So, no, this book helped you.
Wish it woulda, coulda, shoulda. But then it's too late, you know.
It took care of all of that. And then, but it let you answer the questions with dignity and grace. It wasn't, you didn't, you know, some stuff is hard to talk about, but you didn't embarrass your partner by asking the questions. It was a nice guide. You did a great job, sis. I really like it.
All praises due to Allah. The guide started out as my guide for myself. And I think Student Minister Jamil explained that perfectly. And then I started sharing the questions online. And then people said, look, are you putting this in a book? Because we like these questions and we want these questions. And so I did. And then he wrote the foreword, and Sister Katrina Muhammad out of DC was the editor. She did a fantastic job. And I worked with a brother out of Atlanta, Brother Kofi Johnson, who's also a Muslim. He helped produce the book and helped me put it together and get it published on Amazon. So I've heard so many compliments and great stories about this book from people who have progressed to marriage, like you and your husband. Yes. But also from couples who decided that the courtship and the marriage was not going to work out based on the questions and the answers, and realizing they weren't compatible and making the decision to terminate that courtship. And at the end of the day, it's all good because you want to be with someone who you're compatible with. That's the goal of the book, to create real relationships, not like these fake partnerships. That's the goal.
Absolutely.
Indeed. May I ask a question, Tisha?
Yes, please.
Thank you. I wanted to say this to you. You know, we started off the top of the hour by talking about transparency and disclosure. I have to say that Sister Katrina has been a constant force and a member of the community who do things in the nation at the top level. So I met her years ago when she was coordinating events from her role as the director of the Muhammad University of Islam at Mosque Number 1 in Detroit. Very, very prestigious and important position strategically in our nation. But when we would travel to national conventions, you would find Sister Katrina, because she's an executive and she's very well equipped to organize things, she would be running events. And so I met her in that particular way, pardon me, and became impressed with her abilities to organize her thoughts. And so I guess this question might be almost as much for you as it is for Sister Katrina. But didn't you notice how organized her thought process was and how it flowed logically from one point to another? That was very helpful to me when I was forced to read. I mean, when we were reading all the questions in the book. And so it was very helpful that it flowed logically. Did you notice it?
Yes, it was great. It was great. How we did it, Sister Katrina, was we would take, after I had to tell him, we must finish the book. So every night we would read a chapter, right? And so he would read a question and then we'd answer it. And then I'd read a question and then we'd answer it. And to me, it was nice and organized. It flowed. We stayed on the way you have it set up into different topics, right? Yes. Different category type things. We were able to address one certain topic before you moved on to the next. So you had a clear understanding before you moved on to that next topic. But sometimes that question would come up again. So if you kind of fumble your way through it the first time, she's going to ask you again in a different way. So
I love that. For some people, they were irritated by questions being asked a second time. And they thought it was a mistake. And I said, no, it was on purpose, because it gives people the opportunity to answer the question again, and the listener to see if that person answered it the same way they answered it the first time, to discern if those answers were honest or not. Yes. That was the whole point. But I mean, I'm curious, which chapters did you all start like traditionally from chapter 1 and work your way through, or did you move around the book to different chapters? I'm just curious.
We started at the beginning with the forward. Okay.
Okay.
Cover to cover. Now some stuff good. we skipped over, like having children and daycare, that type stuff. Right. But stuff that pertain to, where we're at now in this life, we went through.
Well, I'm just saying it's not too late though. We might want to review those chapters.
Some stuff we skipped right over, like having children and.
Sis said, "No, sir. Shop is closed."
But
I love it. I love it.
I'm so thoughtful though, because as I remember, Sister Katrina, I don't know if I discussed this with you after our wedding, but I do know that during the time that I first heard of the book, you sent me the manuscript in the draft form. And I thought I would look at it over the next few days or whatever, it would be. I read it in one night. I read straight through it in one night. And then I called Sister Katrina on the phone, like, hey, what about this? What does this mean? What does that mean? And so she was very accommodating and kind. And she listened to my enthusiasm. I hope that my enthusiasm was an encouragement for you to continue in the way of bringing the book out, because it's here now.
It was everything. I was so excited because I think I had shared it. Yeah, I was sharing it with Sister Karai at the time, and also my mother, and maybe one other person. But I think you were the first male to read the book. And your enthusiasm, I was nervous too. I was like, oh no, brother's gonna read this book. I don't know what he's.
Oh man. Well, I can tell you that if I was the first male to look at it, Tisha, I was grateful. I thought it was great because I'm not just a male. I'm the father of 6 daughters. I'm the father of 6 daughters, and I have granddaughters. And I want my children and grandchildren to be focused on how to select the right mates, both boys and girls.
Absolutely.
To be able to do that. And so what I learned from this was an intergenerational blessing.
Absolutely.
And one of the things you talked about, Sister Katrina, was that you took this book to your dentist's office. Can you tell us what happened at the dentist's office when you showed up with this book in your hand?
Yes, yes. My dentist is Indian, and she read the book, or I told her, what it was about, and then I brought it to her, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law need this book because they've been having problems, and I need to buy this book from you." I ended up giving her a copy, but what was interesting to me is that as she looked through the questions, she said, the way that you wrote this book and the questions, this would apply to any couple, any ethnicity, any age, any type of person trying to have a relationship with someone. She was like, wow, this is great. I've never seen anything like this. We don't even have anything like this in our, culture. And she's Hindu. And so it was just interesting to me how it was just the connective tissue is people are just trying to get along and pair themselves up with the right person for them, regardless of where they're from or what their ethnicity is or their religion. And so I'm very thankful to Allah that He helped me to put the book together that way. But I just wanted to respond to the previous question. When Student Minister Jamil read the book and his level of excitement and how he thought it would help brothers in relationships and brothers in courtships, that was everything to me, because I didn't want, as a female writer, to be placed in a category in terms of the book is just for women. I think that's unfair. I think brothers have the right to ask questions and should have lots of questions for their courtmates, just like the sisters should have questions. So the fact that he endorsed that, he saw it, he got it, he understood it, he thought it was fair. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. It's a great book. In just a few moments, we're going to open up the floor coming out of the bottom of the hour. I'm going to tell you by about 6:32, in about 5 minutes from now, everybody, make sure you have your pen and pad and you can record the information of where you can purchase your copy of Relationship Talks. It ships quickly. It's a beautiful book. The cover, the binding, everything here from Brother Taiwan in Fort Worth, beautifully done, and the design and layout is great.
Yes.
It's a really good addition to your library in your home. You don't want to miss an opportunity to get this book.
What I liked about it was that the questions that you asked, the topics, and hopefully after the bottom of the hour, we can get into some of the topics in the book, share that with the audience and answer some of their questions. But what I liked about it, it was so relatable. It wasn't a book that was written way up here that, doesn't deal with people's everyday lives. It was something that we could all relate to, topics and conversation pieces that are relevant in our lives today. And to me, the book, yes, is for you to go through if you're in courtship and things like that. But if you're already married, this book can help you too, because the way it's written and the way it's set up, it opens the lines of communication. And a lot of times, if there's a little rocky ground or things that need to be worked on in the marriage, it's communication. So this book would help those that are already married too, to break these generational curses or whatever. It makes you get down into the nitty gritty in a nice, calm manner, productive.
Yes,
it's just a really good book.
I'm really glad you said that, because I wanted to be very detailed intentionally. And that wasn't an easy thing to do. I mean, I think to some people.
See, again, we're having those technical problems and we're going to overcome them. Everybody, thank you for your patience. Please stand by while we work out the problems. But I do want to say to you that since we've arrived at 8:30 and we're bringing Sister Katrina back onto the line, let me just remind you, everyone, that you're listening to and you're viewing Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and
Sister Tisha.
And we're on every Thursday at 8 p.m. on YouTube, on Facebook, and somewhere everywhere else you can play us. I don't care if you play us at the gas pump.
Yes.
You won't be spending that much time at the gas pump like you used to, because gas is about $18 a gallon. But Nevertheless, we'll be everywhere that we can be, and we want to thank you for being a part of the Nothing But the Truth family. Also, tonight is a very special night for us, and if I can ask how we move through what we need to do with the Yardbird Suites edition of the Morning Brew on WPFW. This is our bottom of the hour announcement, and I want to make sure we do it. If the tech team could just place a few of the photographs up on the screen. For those of you who have not heard, we lost a very, very important institution in the world of Black media, Black journalism, Black communications, radio, art, poetry, photography, and a real Renaissance man in the person of our brother, as you see me there shaking his hand. That's Brother Katrina Muhammad. On the 17th of February, he passed away, but there is a great legacy in the world of radio that he left with a program called the Yardbird Suites edition of the Morning Brew on the station WPFW FM in Washington. That's at 89.3 on your dial if you are in the metropolitan Washington area. If you're around the country, and there you see Brother Askia holding up a proclamation from the mayor and Congress and council, I should say, of the District of Columbia, honoring him for 40 consecutive years.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, 40 consecutive years on radio in Washington. He is an institution.
Wow.
He asked that I, in light of his passing, assume the mantle of hosting that radio program every Tuesday morning from 5 to 8 a.m. Eastern Time on WPFW. So I want to ask for your prayers. I want to ask for your help. I want to ask for your listenership and your fellowship and your friendship. Please join us every Tuesday morning from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now, I was in the studio the other day trying to learn all the technical things that I needed to learn, and the tech team knows this already, but the studio was burst into by a guest who came in. Yeah. There you see.
You said you needed help. I was helping.
Exactly.
I didn't mean that. Anyway, she came in. She says that she couldn't find a chair, so she had to sit on my lap. There were two other chairs in one. She said, no, but not at that desk.
Yes.
Okay.
I had to get close to the mic.
You had to, yeah.
Is this thing on? Testing.
Yeah, that's what you did. And so there you, so that they caught you singing the George Michael songs as well.
That's great.
In the studio. Yeah, I want to you wake me up before you go by Wham. Yeah, in any event, I'm always glad to see you, hon. And
I'm gonna help.
No, you
I'm here for you.
No, honey, you just relax.
For you, I'm here.
So
all right.
Stay at the house and listen with everyone else. But we want to encourage you, everybody, listen to the Yardbird Suites edition of the Morning Brew every Tuesday morning. Go to WPFWFM.org and listen live and help build this program into a life-giving oasis of cultural beauty for our people. That's what our skill would want, and that's what we want too. And that's even what Tisha wants, despite the Wake Me Up Before You Go by Wham and the Go-Go's and the Bangles.
Take me dance tonight. Spirit fingers.
Let's go back into our guest portion of the program so that we don't get sidetracked by.
Can we get into the book now?
We can. I've got the book in my hand. I know you have your copy that you don't. I noticed when we got back from Savior's Day, I haven't even touched your copy of the book.
No.
So
You have your own.
Yeah, I have my own. Okay. Well, I do. I have my own. And I want to invite our author to go ahead and open up and do what we have to do. But we want to look at, Katrina, if you don't mind, at the section on family and friends. If you could guide us through a little bit of that, even a couple of questions about it. She's there. She's going to be back on and off. But I want to say how friends and family can mess with you. You know, friends and family can mess with you. And sometimes they do. And we want to make sure that instead of getting messed with, we get blessed with friends and family.
With friends and family.
With friends and family. So We want to do this in the right way. Sister Katrina, where do we start in the friends and families, in the family and friends section? And what do we look at?
Well, it's the second chapter, and it really starts with an image on page 24 of really a couple about to get married, and they're facing each other. And I chose that image. And Brother Taiwan, thank you for mentioning him. He's an excellent graphic designer. He helped with all the pictures throughout the book. That picture was chosen because at weddings tend to have who? Friends and family there.
Right.
And when you look on the faces of most of the people at weddings, most of them are happy for the couple. Maybe there's some that might not be, and they might be hiding that. I don't know. But those people are there because they're important to the couple. They're important to the bride and the groom. And they are the sphere of influence for that couple. So you definitely need to have conversations about friends and family before you commit to someone. And that's what this chapter is about. And it really starts on page 26 with just a brief explanation of why this chapter is in the book. And of course, a quote from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, his lecture, The Theology of Self, delivered February the 11th, 1987. Throughout the book, there are quotes from him. And that is to inspire the readers to go back and watch that lecture together. So I hope you all did that. Of course, I'm sure you've seen all the lectures. The two of you are veterans in our nation, but to watch them together is a whole nother experience. And that was the point of quoting him in the book, to keep the focus, to hear from the man of God, obviously, and also inspire the readers to watch his lectures for themselves.
Beautiful.
I thought it was great also, even in this section in the whole book, that your questions are not just limited to those who identify themselves as Muslims or members of the Nation of Islam. These are questions that are across the board principle. That's why your Hindu dentist, right? And the lady down at the coffee shop, I think she goes to Fellowship Baptist, Missionary Baptist in Chicago, and all these other folks from different backgrounds, different racial and ethnic backgrounds, see the principle in here. And it's really, really good. Really good.
That was important to me because in my family, my majority of my family, really everyone, with the exception of a distant cousin in Texas and one in Las Vegas, who were a part of the nation at one point in their lives. But everyone else, they're all and they identify with being Christian, attending Baptist churches. So, and then many of my friends too, that I went to college with or grew up with. I didn't want to make people again feel like this book was only for Muslim women,
Right.
or just whatever, just Black women only. I mean, when you look and study marriages and divorce rates, this is an epidemic problem across the nation, even more so in our community with the highest divorce rate. But this is certainly a challenge for everybody in terms of finding the right person for them and having successful marriages. And hopefully people will get this book and have a better experience in their courtship.
Yes, yes, indeed. Everybody, you're watching Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and
Sister Tisha.
And we are enjoying this conversation with a special guest who's not really a guest. We have a special announcement about how you know she's not a guest at the end of the program. But dear brothers and sisters, this is what it takes. You cannot approach marriage in the 21st century without knowledge and preparation. That's like taking a knife to a gunfight. You can't do it. You have to be equipped and armed with the information that will allow you to deal with the inevitable trials and tests that come up. So this is an important part of your marriage education, your preemptive, preliminary marriage education. If you're in the chat right now, you can see some of the connections and links to get relationship talks. Thank you, Shantae, for putting them in there. But we want to make sure you order today and get them on time. And they ship easy, they ship quickly, and they'll come soon enough for you to be able to do what you have to do. Another quick question. Sister Katrina is coming back on the line, but before she does get back on the line, my question to you, Tisha, is did you notice that it helped to raise our tone during courtship? And I don't know how to put this, but is that how we noticed it? I saw it that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I did. The book was just such a blessing through the whole thing. That's why I was saying the way it reads, the way it's written, it helps to guide your questions and guide your conversations. And you're right, it helps you to keep the conversation on a higher tone. What I noticed for it and the comfort that it gave to me, I'm a little extra sometimes, is that a lot of times what we learn about relationships and our marriage and what it's supposed to be is from what your mama told you and what your grandmama told you and what you this and what you that. And so we tend to pass down generational issues or ways of doing things, right? Generation after generation after generation, when it may not be the best. So this book allowed you to examine yourself and set up what you want for your relationship, what you and your partner want for your relationship. You don't have to go by what this one said you have to do and that one has to say, and what this other book or this, what you've always heard before. You don't have to do that. This helped guide you through some questions you may have thought to ask, but were ashamed to, or never even thought to ask. It's just great. I highly recommend it to everyone to get in this and do the work beforehand.
Yes, ma'am.
Beforehand, if you want, what I'm mad about talking about beforehand. If you want your relationship to work, do the work beforehand. It's not cute to just he like me, I like her. This is not high school, right?
Right.
We got to get
That's
these
right.
talks done.
One of the things, to your point, Sister Tisha, a brother came up to me. I'm not sure where I was, and I'm not sure if he was in the nation or not. But anyway, he said to me, Sister Katrina, you have a lot of information in your in terms of these questions. You killing the game. I said, what? He
Right.
said, you're killing the game. Like all the little stuff that men do, you calling it out. You busting it up, sister. What's up with that? I said, brother, the game needs to be killed. It's time to have strong Black families.
Yes,
No more games. No more games.
absolutely.
And then he was honest and he said, honestly though, your book made me look at myself
It
and
did.
made me think about myself and how I do things and some things I need to do better. He said, thank you for that, sis. And I said, thank you, sir. All praises due to Allah. But I mean, it was just funny when he was like, you're killing the game. I was like, what?
Yeah. Games have destroyed us, and we have found ourselves becoming overly transactional without being really substantial. What I mean by
That's
that,
right.
and what your book taught me about that was that men tend to approach relationships to get as much physical comfort from women as they can without giving and give as little money as they can. And then the women are trying to get as much money from the man as they can without as much physical touching, because he ain't all that cute, girl, but he rich. See, so what happens is we have this transactional thing that takes place.
Right.
And instead of us really dealing with the substance of who we are as people, and I love that this book does not cut any corners, takes no teeth for the fever. And it does ask the same question 4 or 5 times in 4 or 5 different chapters in 3 or 4 different ways to make sure that you're telling the truth.
Yes.
You go through it. Because it's all about the truth and nothing
but the truth.
That's what I'm talking about.
Already.
Yes, indeed. So we bars none. We bars none. Special shout out tonight to our dear brother from Houston, Texas, the voice of the nation himself, Brother Jay DeLay. He says peace and he loves us too, but that means everybody all throughout the Nothing But the Truth family. Jay, it's always good to see you. We look forward to talking with you soon, dear brother. But I am so grateful that our guest chose to grace our airwaves this evening with this time. I know there are more questions, Tisha. I don't want to get in your way. Go right ahead.
I want to know if, Sister Katrina, do you mind just giving the audience an example of some of the questions that they would encounter in the book, just so they can get a feel of how the book flows? Is there anything you want to share? Okay.
Sure. There's a really good question. I was looking at one that was on number 22, but I'll start with number 11. If a child doesn't like their step or bonus parent, how would you resolve this issue and bring peace? The reality is we have a lot of blended families.
Yes.
And so there's so many issues that can come up, especially if those children are minor children. All of that needs to be discussed, like in detail. I even have questions like number 21. If you have a child from a previous relationship, is it appropriate to allow your new spouse to groom their hair or to dress them? I actually met a sister when I was doing a lot of research who told me that this was a pet peeve for her. She did not like that. She had a child with a man who is now married to someone, and she did not like this other woman grooming her daughter's hair or anything like that. And, you know, at first I didn't think it was really that big of a deal, but to her it was. And so the point here is we all have different things we care about. The goal is to put it on the table and discuss that. That's the point. Number 22, when in courtship, when should you introduce your immediate family, mother, father, siblings to your courtmate? I met some people who said right away, because my mom and dad can tell me what's up. And other people said, my family, I'm not really trying to expose my courtmate to them because they're kind of, you know, a train wreck. So I'm gonna wait a little while before they meet the family. Everyone is different. So the point is that should be discussed as well, because if you want to wait a while before I meet your family, well, why is that? Right.
Right.
So just discuss it, put it all on the table. And then there are a lot of other detailed questions in here, but those are like kind of just three that I can think of that jumped off the page to me about friends and family. But it gets very detailed in this chapter and all the others. And also for your readers, or your listeners, I should say, there are some activities at the end of each chapter for the couple to participate in to learn more about each other. So it's not just about what a person says, but it's about their actions as well.
Wow.
You know.
Wow. Oh, wow. I have to ask you, I'm perusing the page after you gave number 22 about introducing your family, but you get into it. And I love how these questions deal. I'm going to tell you, these are serious questions. Now, this book is not for punk. If you're
No, it's not.
You might want to out right now, but it's not for you. But I'm telling you, right here on number 27 says, straight up, do you believe in abortion?
Right.
Have you ever had an abortion? Are you willing to explain why? Are you of the opinion that this was a good decision, or do you have regrets? When a person is asking that question, you may presume that the questioner is male and the respondent is female. But this question says as much about the questioner as it does about the respondent. This question says what he believes in or does not. This question makes him question himself. This question says, and she can hear how he even asks her the question.
Right.
He asks her the question like a comforting friend or like a crusading prosecuting attorney.
Right.
See, there's different ways to ask these questions, but what Sister Katrina's words do is stand on their own. Because they stand on their own. That's right, Sister Talithia. Amen for the actions, right? They stand on their own, and they make clear without any doubt that these questions have a right to be asked and to be answered, and that we're learning discernment.
Yes.
We're learning the feeling that we get when a person speaks to us. Tisha told me that before she knew answers about the specifics, she was looking at me to get a feeling for how I made her feel. With me, I just didn't know how to articulate it like she did. But when I thought about it, it made sense, because people don't care what you know, they care about how you make them feel.
That's right.
So, yeah, Sister Katrina's book shows you how to take that in and to understand.
Another good question is question 51. Same chapter. What are your earliest fond memories of your parents and their marriage and relationship? I mean, you can learn so much about a person when they talk about their own family, if they grew up in a two-parent household or they didn't. If they grew up in a two-parent household and they went through the divorce with their parents, because I believe when divorce happens and children are in the home, it's not just the couple that's going through that divorce, the children are going through the divorce as well.
Absolutely.
Things change for them. Sometimes they change where they live, sometimes what schools they go to, how much money and income is in the home after divorce. I mean, a lot can happen to children just experiencing a divorce with their family. So it's important to talk to your potential spouse about that experience, about growing up, and if they saw any examples of love between couples. Did they ever even experience that or get a chance to see it? Because, of course, children learn from modeling what they see,
Yes.
not so much just what they hear or someone telling them, but they're watching. They're always watching us. And that's very important that they see examples of successful couples in their family.
Yes. Wow. I know the time on the clock is winding down, and so we have to begin to wrap up. Pete, did you have anything else that was really on your pad that you needed to ask? Because I had maybe two. I won't be able to get to everything tonight, but I do want to defer to you if you have any other questions.
Not so much. Well, I do have a question. Is there going to be a part 2 to the book?
Oh, yes.
There's a part 2. Okay.
Inshallah.
Mhm. Okay.
So there
She
will
found
be
out. So she
two?
said there is going to be a part 2. When she comes back, I'd like to see how make sure we let everyone know how they can get this book, how they can get in touch with her to support her efforts, but also to get this book to support your marriages. Oh, yes, ma'am. Sister Katrina, we were wanting you to let everyone know how they can pick up your book. How can they purchase your book?
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. If they're in Chicago, they can pick up the book from Foodies, the best restaurant in Chicago, located right across the street from Mas Mariam on Stony Island. It is the best. So when you pick up the book, make sure you get some delicious fish, salmon, lamb chops. I mean, you name it, they have it. And of course, the bean pies are there, bean soup is there. So you have to definitely experience the fullness of Foodies.
Yes.
And if you are elsewhere in the country, you can just order it on Amazon and it'll be at your home in a couple of days.
Beautiful.
Okay, excellent. And as you mentioned that, Sister Katrina, it's appropriate. Can I do it now, teacher? Can I say it now?
Please.
Okay. We've asked Sister Katrina to become a fixture in the family of Nothing But the Truth. We've asked her to
All
appear
praises due to Allah.
once a month for her talks with us,
Yes.
all of us, to help us stay in the groove or get in the groove, whatever is applicable. But we want to make sure that she's with us once a month, and we have been so blessed that she said yes. So you can look for her. I mean it now. Look for her every second Thursday of every month, because we want to make sure that there is, and yes, that is right, Shanti. All praise due to Allah. We want to make
All
sure
praises due to Allah.
there is this kind of ongoing continuity to keep our relationships getting better and better and better and better, because more of what you do is necessary than we could ever imagine. My wife
Thank
and
you.
I benefited. I mean, Tisha and I have benefited, and I can tell you that coming through and rebuilding your life
Mm-hmm.
for whatever has happened before, we're not mad about anything else that's happened before, but here we are. We got to rebuild our lives, and we need to build them right this time. And so we're very, very glad. But honest questions, and Tisha probably added a few more questions. I'm sure there's not really a question in the book why your knees pop like that when you walk. That's probably not even in the book.
I mean, but it should be. It should be.
Yeah, but you didn't even have to ask me all that about my knees and stuff. You had to get into all that. That's because that's I just do that for musical reasons. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, for music. But I want you to know that all of the things that we have done together have been affected in some positive way, Sister Katrina, by your book.
All praises due to Allah. Thank you so much. Let me just first say, all praises due to Allah. Thank you all so much for letting me share the information on the book about the book and share that with your viewers. I believe that the Black family needs to be highlighted and needs to be talked about and helped in any way possible on all of our platforms, even if it's just for 10 minutes. We need to talk about the Black family and how we can help the Black family. And with that said, I would be remiss if I did not mention that the swan song, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan delivered a lecture, the swan song, just a week ago. It was amazing, and there were messages in there and information in there that would be helpful to the Black family. So anyone looking for information from the minister on the Black family first needs to start there. But there are so many other lectures on YouTube that you can look up, like, for instance, this one here, Rebuilding the Family. I actually purchased this book of lectures by the minister from a sister in our mosque or in our nation. She put all of these lectures together that the minister has given on marriage and the sacred institution of the family. I mean, it's just amazing. And we can get into this another day. Like, for instance, this lecture here, The Sacredness of the Female. I mean, there's just so many fabulous, wonderful lectures that can help us elevate our minds and have a better relationship, a better understanding of ourselves. Please research the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's lectures on the Black family.
Yes.
That's critical. If you get the book Relationship Talks, I mean, all praises due to Allah. If you get it, great. But you need to listen to his lectures on the Black family. That was a sense of motivation for me to put this book together. And I list a lot of his lectures in the book. It starts there. So I'd like to encourage your viewers to start with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and what he has said about the Black family.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. Tish, what time is it? Do you have the time?
It's about that time.
Oh, look at those gorgeous watches.
Sally and Twine up in this bad boy.
Sally and Twine.
Thank you all so much for being with us tonight. We are grateful for you. Special shout outs to all of those who are on the team that makes Nothing But the Truth happen every week. Those of you who donate, and you'll see the special donation slide come up on your screen in the next few seconds. We may make a slide, we may not, but we love you for supporting us, and we ask for your continued support. And as Tisha told me to tell you, because I do what she asked me to do because I read Relationship Talks. So I know what to do.
Right.
Smart brother.
Right. But as she told me to ask you, when you send your donation, you can target it for a particular thing, or it can go into the ongoing maintenance and growth of this program. But we appreciate you, and we intend to use these airwaves responsibly for your sake.
Absolutely.
I'm going to leave you with a comment from my dear sister and friend of 40 years. She came into the mosque as a young Muslim and under my fledgling leadership in Philadelphia years ago. She is today the wife of our student minister in Memphis, Tennessee, Brother Abdul Mutakar Muhammad, Sister Mutakara, once known as Sister Jill, and she writes the following.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum, family. So happy I made it back to this program. Love the courage it takes to address the delicate issues in courtship. Blended families are tricky. We followed the advice in the Quran to treat one another as brothers and sisters in the faith. We did not try to replace their beloved birth parents.
Yes.
Congratulations, Sister Katrina is a wonderful asset to the Nothing But the Truth family. Strong marriage makes a strong people. Thank you, Sister Katrina. Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha, closing the gap.
Ooh, beautiful.
And that's
wow. I'm so honored. Thank you, Sister Jill. Thank you.
Don't forget to get your copy of Night of Majesty, the new CD by our music director, Brother Gary Muhammad.
Oh, it's slamming too.
They call him in Baltimore, Bubba Gurry.
Yeah.
Bubba Gurry. But
that CD is nice.
That CD is slamming. Now, you don't have to sing the vocals, honey. Just y'all go get the CD. Y'all no. Y'all just go get the CD. Brother Gary made it. It's nice. You're going to enjoy it. It's time for us to sign off by thanking you all for being with us. Sister Katrina, thank you. Brother Mystery Man, we love you in the control room, big bro. And thank you, everybody, for being with us. May Allah bless you all. Until next week, Allah willing and the creek don't rise. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.